In this video, I'm going to show you the exact confluences that I use to actually go ahead and increase the probability of my TGIF setups. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically capturing the high/low of the week, right? So in this case, it's basically where the weekly has gone ahead, expanded higher, and we're looking to catch sort of this wick, right? So from high to essentially wherever the wick decides to close, you're looking to catch this move. Okay, so again, understanding that the power of 3 means that price should go ahead, create a lower wick and expand higher. We're looking to create that sort of wick off style trade where the weekly ends up creating its upper wick and closing out. Now sometimes this move is going to be pretty decent and it's going to be a lot larger than anticipated, and other times it's not really going to be worth it. So I'm going to show you sort of 3 different confluences that I use to go ahead and increase the probability. So I do normally actually start off with a top down, but I'm not going to go too crazy in depth with this one. So the higher time frame, we have this weekly FEG that we've rejected from, and basically the target that we were looking at was this high here, which got reached for early week. Another thing to notice or mention, if this loads, is that we had an FOMC week here, right? So basically the week started off consolidating. There was a decent move on Tuesday. Price then basically just slowed down, right? So we had time distortion here where price was waiting for that news release, which ended up sending price aggressively to the upside. Once we'd done that, we were basically not interested in longing anymore. Okay, once you see something like this, it means that majority of the weekly range has been completed, as you can clearly see here. So what do we look for? So this is where the 3 confluences sort of come in, right? So number 1 is we produce a large inefficiency. So when we have a large inefficiency created above liquidity, a lot of the time, especially on that Friday, we'll go ahead and actually reprice and fill this in, right? Considering that we are under the right conditions. Right, number 2 is a CSD at the top there. So typical rule of thumb, it's ideal if the 1 hour/4 hour is actually on side, right? Meaning that if you are looking to sell, that the 1 hour or 4 hour is actually in your favor. And the third one is actually letting London play, so allowing for protraction on London and then seeing New York continue to the downside, right, which I'll show you in a second here. So you can see TGIF setup was substantial. If we go on the 15-minute here, okay, so in terms of the draw, right, it's this large inefficiency area. So in terms of the draw, that's ticked off. You could just couple this low with this FEG and that's completely fine as well. Then we see Friday actually roll around, which is this day. So we had Asia. Okay, we created equal highs here. Equal highs got raided during, what's that, 6 a.m. Okay, it's UK time. Price then expands lower. So this is London. After London has showed that we're bearish, we've then also confirmed that with the order block, right, which is also on the hourly. Then we know at this point that the rest of, New York is likely to go ahead and print lower. So how else do we confirm this? Well, we want to see old bearish arrays acting as resistance. So in terms of the bearish arrays on this side of the leg, the clearest one to us is this FEG. So if I put that there, so once we get the closure past that, sort of shorting in and around that level is super high probability. So whether you wanted to play the continued order flow of the 15-minute, right, whether it be this order block, right, which gets held very nicely, could also have just played a sort of OTE style trade here, right there. If I do hop over to Euro as well, you can see we actually have some SMT with this low, right? So this low gets taken, and as you can see, this high gets sustained. So potentially after that, you could have got on side, right, via, I'd say more of probably a 5-minute. Here we go, market structure shift, and yeah, if I hop over to here again, market structure shift, FVG. So multiple ways to play this. Like I said, whether you just wanted to play straight off the order block or you wanted to wait for a market structure shift in here. Keynote as well is that this actually ran during London close. Okay, so it didn't play during New York, which would have been the ideal scenario, and then it runs lower during London close. So yeah, those are sort of the 3 points I'd say that you want to add to the TGIF setup. A lot of the times, I'd noticed that this this setup was unreliable, but with these added confluences, it should up the win rate on this specific setup. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy that, and I'll see you at the next one.